Kia ora tātou. May we all be well. Greetings from beautiful Aotearoa, New Zealand. I'm Hugh Young, and I've maintained the Intactivism pages, circumstitions.com, for 24 years. Thanks to the organisers for inviting me to join you all in celebrating this anniversary, which, although unsuccessful at the time, has left us a historic benchmark. In Cologne in 2012, a court held infant male genital cutting up to the light of Germany's Grundgesetz, drawn up in reaction to Nazi horrors like Josef Mengeler's operations on children and a forerunner to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and found it wanting. I've made it my job to find out why, really, people are so determined to cut babies. I haven't succeeded, but this is what I've found. Infant male genital cutting is peculiar, anomalous. It doesn't belong in religions of peace, mercy, compassion, or healing the world. It doesn't belong in medical practice based on first doing no harm, putting the patient first, and making the amputation of a valuable sensory organ a choice of last resort. It doesn't belong in cultures that aim to protect children from harm or give men and women the privacy to enjoy their sex lives unimpaired. Books have been written devoted to demolishing all the rational arguments for infant male genital cutting. The problem is that infant male genital cutting is fundamentally irrational. Like a grain of sand having inveigled itself into an oyster, infant male genital cutting has persuaded the oyster to coat it in layers of smooth excuses, then convinced the oyster that the intrusive grain of sand is itself the pearl of great price. And by destroying the foreskin, cutting destroys all knowledge of what is missing, so cut men can deny the harm done to them. Richard Dawkins defined a meme, before it redefined itself as a funny picture of a cat saying something all too human. Dawkins defined a meme as a unit of culture transmitted by imitation, such as a letter of the alphabet, a Christmas custom, or a myth. Memes are like mental viruses, evolving by surviving natural selection to enhance their own survival. And anything that can promote their survival, such as religion, culture, or medical mythology, may be incorporated into the rationale for doing it. Related memes cluster in what are called memeplexes, enhancing their survival by supporting each other. The component memes of the male genital cutting memeplex are all the bad reasons that I call circumstitions. I have found over 600 reasons seriously given for cutting healthy baby boys, but of course 1,000 bad reasons doesn't make one good one. I have boiled those hundreds of bad reasons for cutting down into 6 major categories: sexuality, sacrifice, religion, conformity, health, and hygiene. But as you see, all these excuses interconnect, and genital cutting glides easily from one excuse to another as each one is knocked down. In the United States, infant male genital cutting embedded itself in the culture when sex was a taboo topic. But now that tide has gone out, it lies on the rock, the oyster opens, revealing this pearl of a topic for TV, merging as it does sex, blood, religion, medicine, gender battles, men's insecurity, toxic masculinity, female power, a minority it is still okay to victimize, and a movement it is still okay to mock. It is simultaneously ubiquitous, controversial, and a taboo topic of conversation. So to refer to it on television can be mundane and daring at the same time. It is hardly surprising that references to infant male genital cutting are highly ambiguous. People may argue about it, but the outcome is almost invariably to promote it, and residual prudishness means it still can't be discussed clearly. Here's another image. Ritual and medical genital cutting are like a bright star circling a black hole. Each has a high profile in US soaps and sitcoms, and one may feed the other, but they remain strictly separate. In Seinfeld, ritual infant male genital cutting is a public ceremony involving the whole cast, and any effect on men is of no consequence, only its appearance to women.
Hey, Jerry, you ever seen one?
What, you mean that wasn't,
Yeah.
No, you?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Had no face, no personality. It was like a Martian.
After 30 years, Elaine is still widely quoted, though her speech was written by cut men, and it's quite wrong. The cut penis has less character. The intact one is a transformer.
Now I need the baby. Bring me the baby. I need the baby! I'm not gonna let you. Taylor! Hey, what are you doing? Come back here!
Kramer's well-founded attempt to save the baby can be dismissed because he is a kook, later in the episode being obsessed by imaginary, Mengele-like human experimentation.
Compose yourself! This is a bris! We're performing a bris here, not a burlesque show. This is not a school play. This is not a baggy pants farce. This is a bris. A sacred ancient ceremony symbolizing the covenant between God and Abraham. Or something.
The Moyle's flippancy about the religious aspect underlines what Leonard Glick has noticed, that the cutting here is Jewish in name only. In Sex and the City, men are cut. How, when and why it ever happened is a non-issue, but when one is not, it is a problem.
But just when Charlotte had become comfortable with the penis, she got a very unexpected surprise.
Oh, it's...
Uncircumcised. Is that okay?
No. Sure. Of course it is.
It was not okay.
Women's opinions about appearance are of supreme importance.
There was so much skin, it was like a Shar-Pei.
It's not what it looks like, it's what they can do with it.
Well, I don't need one that can make its own carrying case.
Even Samantha, who defends intact penises, does so with faint praise and false analogies.
Personally, I love an uncircumcised dick. It's like a Tootsie Pop. Hard on the outside, with a delicious surprise inside.
You know, he's a nice, waspy guy. What went wrong?
Well, maybe his parents were hippies and just didn't believe in it.
I am so circumcising my kids.
I think you can pay people to do that now.
I don't ever want to know there's a woman out there calling my son a Shar-Pei.
All I'm saying is uncut men are the best. They try harder. I should know.
Mike's solution is to get cut, offstage and without any mention of cost or pain. It might as well be a haircut, and its only effect is to give him more confidence. The trope that the foreskin is disgusting runs through these shows like a leaden thread. In Off-Centre, English Ewan has to endure a steady drizzle of foreskin hatred.
I do really enjoy the camaraderie. What the hell is that? It's what? On your thingy. You freak!
Dude, I'm sorry for staring, but it scares me.
The pro-cutting message is almost satirically exaggerated.
Seriously, Ewan, you should have that taken care of. I mean, you're a very attractive man, but that penis is a disaster.
Well, what would you have me do, Jay?
Get circumcised.
What? No way.
Hey, I'm your boss, okay? Go see your urologist.
I'm 25 years old. I don't have a urologist.
Come on.
Jay, I wouldn't even know where to find a urologist.
I'm a urologist. You are perfectly normal.
Thank you, doctor.
Except for the anteater. Seriously, though, it's very, very unpleasant.
It's not that big a deal. Besides, you do fine with the women. I mean, obviously there are some who don't mind that much.
Yeah, some chicks are into weird crap.
I don't really know you, but speaking as a woman, it's no big deal to me.
Really?
Sure, as long as I don't have to touch it.
However, I can now make a clear diagnosis of your condition.
Oh, really? What's that?
Weird wieneritis.
Whoa.
What?
Nothing. I just remembered I'm Jewish.
Leonard Glick has noted that the prevailing theme of all this is unease.
Why don't you just relax while I go and get an instrument? Ah, here we are. You see, Ewan, I use humor.
Like Dr. Wasserman, defenders of male genital cutting tell poor jokes, but the underlying impetus for genital cutting is fear. Fear of being different, fear of sexual rejection, fear of expulsion from the tribe, fear of disease and death, though male genital cutting can cause both, and fear of the awesome power of sex. Cutting a baby is ultimately about power and control. Cutting him makes him safe, makes him like us, brings him into the tribe, explicitly in the Jewish case, makes him a man, explicitly in the tribal case. And in the medical case, it's often said this helpless newborn baby took it like a champ. But what else could he do? Yet another sitcom about a man getting cut to suit women is Till Death.
I'm not circumcised. See that? That's the look Andrew gave me. It's the same look I've been getting from women my whole life.
That's funny. Most guys have to apologize after sex, but you have to apologize before.
With no fewer than 19 pro-cutting lines, it uniquely includes the distressing sound of a baby shrieking as his foreskin is cut off. But even this is milked for humor.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever been a part of. I want to go next.
And now, for the big moment.
Oh, hell no!
But underlining the ambivalence, he changes his mind again, for no apparent reason, and gets cut. A rare departure from this shower of foreskin hatred was provided as early as 1991 in, unsurprisingly, The Simpsons, in Krusty the Clown's violent revenge fantasy. It's a pity Itchy the Cat was not cast as a Gentile doctor, because secular cutting is far more prevalent in the United States than ritual. And over the last decade, this torrent of foreskin hatred seems to have slackened, perhaps because of the rise of intactivism. Intactivism itself is mocked in Arrested Development as one woman's peculiar obsession.
We just had an amazing fundraiser for Hoop.
Hoop?
My anti-circumcision movement. I think it looks frightening when it's cut off. It's a Doberman. Let it have its ears. Believe it or not, we brought in over $40,000.
Unbelievable. Sounds like you saved enough skin to make 10 new boys.
His joke makes no sense. Saving the foreskin means it stays on the baby who owns it. A more recent episode of The Simpsons praises the foreskin's European chic.
Here it comes!
It's a dude! And he's uncut. Very Euro.
But few, if any, shows have ever touched on the foreskin's actual value. That would be too much information. So what to do? How best to answer this irrationality? Rationality will not do it all, but it is central to our message. Humour is useful, with reservations. We can mock the cutters and the mockers, as long as we don't trivialize the issue, as their brand of humour always does. Common sense is powerful, that the foreskin's placement, structure and innovation strongly suggest a valuable function. Silence about this is powerful, running through not only TV shows, but even medical textbooks. Appeals to people's natural desire to protect babies from pain and harm should be more effective than they are, but the memeplex has armed itself against them with convenient lies like his nerves haven't yet developed, and irrelevant tropes like he won't remember. forgotten pain was still pain, harm is lasting. Compassion and empathy for cut men are essential. When they understand what has been done to them, they are our strongest allies. Slowly but surely, respect for autonomy, human rights, ethics, equality, and all our other motivations will win. Nō reira e ngā tangata tuarangi whakaaro pai, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.